Hello, my name is David Lindgren. For the past 40 years, I've been wearing Stewart boots. I was first put into a pair by an orthopedist who prescribed them for my chronic back pain. Once I tried the Stewart boots on, my chronic back pain started going away. Since then, I have never had any problems with my back, and I've never worn a different boot brand. 10 years after first wearing Stewart boots, I went to the shop in Arizona and met the owner, Victor Borg. Through his words, he explained to me why my boots fit me so well and why your boots will fit you so well. Victor knows the human foot and how a piece of footwear should fit so that it supports not only the foot but the entire body. Unlike other shoe and boot makers who make between 15 and 20 sizes, Stewart Boot Company has about 144 different sizes. Victor realized that the human foot comes in more than 20 different sizes and shapes, so he set out to make sure that Stewart Boot can properly fit each of its customers. Victor likes to make boots that last. He cares about craftsmanship and quality. 40 years after putting on a Stewart boot and after adding many to my collection, I can still wear my first pair, and through proper maintenance and care, they still fit perfectly. With Stewart boots, I started out as a consumer, became a collector, and now with Victor's help, I'm an owner. My history and experience with the boot has led me to buy into the business and support a product I believe in. And I know that after you try on a proper fitting pair, you will believe in Stewart boots as well. Now, let me introduce you to Victor, who will show you why Stewart boots will be the last brand of boot you'll ever want to buy.
Howdy, my name is Vic Borg. I'm the president of Stewart Boot Company. I have owned Stewart Boot Company since 1970. People sometimes ask us why our boots are better than the other boots. First of all, we buy the best grade of everything that we can find at any point in time. We make our own piece parts. We don't cut the leather for economy. We pre-shrink all the parts. We build the boots on a last that is designed to be hand-lasted, so it's very foot-shaped, and that just gives you a much better product. Making all the parts and making the whole rest of the boot by hand is what separates us from everybody else. The most important thing to us is proper fit. Fit, 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 fit. In some cases, I don't even care what a boot looks like, as long as it fits correctly. If the boot fits correctly, you will want to wear it. It will be healthy for your body, so everybody wins. Most people, when they go out to buy a shoe or boot, they go for what it looks like, and the fit is secondary. And sometimes people will put up with a fit that is not good because they want a certain color or a certain look. Things are different with us here. Fit is paramount. Once we get the fit right, we can make you anything you want. We can make anything from a nearly bulletproof motorcycle riding boot with deep tractor soles right down to a fine lizard or ostrich dress boot that you could wear with a tuxedo. But it all boils down to the fit. You have to have the fit right. Once we get the fit right, we can make you anything you want. We frequently have to make minor adjustments in the cutting patterns or the last build-ups to accommodate the different leathers. That's how far we go when we build a boot. We don't make a boot the same way in mule hide that we would make it in ostrich, because it wouldn't feel the same and it wouldn't be as right for the foot. Aside from the fact that we can make boots in every size and width that the human foot comes in, there are 144 or so sizes that we consider to be standard and in stock, and these include 6 widths because we make more widths than the average manufacturer does. The major difference in the way we make sizes available to the general public and the rest of the footwear industry is that we have come to recognize that there's more to a proper fit in a boot than a letter and a number 9D. There are sizes that are mid-sizes and mid-widths and combination sizes. We have found over the years that a lot of people, especially active people, have what's called a combination foot, where they have a narrow heel and a wide front. And this causes them to either not be able to get fitted at all in a shoe or boot, or worse yet, to get misfitted because they either have loose heels, crowded toes, ingrown toenails, bunions, plantar fasciitis, you name it. All the maladies that people typically have in their feet generally can be traced to improperly fit or improperly constructed footwear. So we've come up with these combination sizes that we have found to be the most common of all the people who don't fit the common size, like the 9D. We have BD and DEE and a bunch of other combinations that fit a large spectrum of the public that thinks that they can't get a proper fit, or that has to suffer through a very lengthy break-in period before the shoe or boot fits them. And of course, by the time they go through the break-in, they've either harmed their feet or harmed the shoe or boot. The break-in on a shoe or a boot, to be blunt about it, is when you're converting the shape of the shoe or the boot from the shape that it was to the shape that it should have been. In a handmade boot, the boot is shaped almost precisely like the foot when it's brand new and you take it out of the box. We prefer that you not have to have what you would call a break-in period with a Stewart boot. We prefer to have the boot fit you correctly when you first put it on. There is a period of adjustment where the boot molds to the foot. The insole inside the boot will conform to the shape of your foot because it sits on top of a mush of ground up cork and glue and so forth to allow the insole to form the footprint of your foot in it. We think that the boot is supposed to be comfortable the minute you put it on, and then as this cork is moving around and shaping to the bottom of the foot, the boot becomes more comfortable. We don't like to think in terms of a break-in while you have to do some period of discomfort or suffering while you're waiting for the shoe or the boot to become comfortable. It should be comfortable the minute you put it on. If it's not, there's something wrong. Would you buy a brand new car that barely ran and then hope that if you worked on it long enough you could make it run well? Our boot is designed from the ground up to be repairable. And we do this because we loathe the throwaway society that everybody complains about. We want to make sure that we make a boot that can be repaired. If something goes wrong with a certain part of the boot, you don't have to throw the whole boot away, you just repair that part. How often have you had boots or shoes that you've bought and you can't repair them when something goes wrong with them? Somebody pays $100 for a pair of tennis shoes, he wears them for 8 months, something goes wrong with them, you can't fix them, he throws them away. We hate that. We don't want to contribute to that. Our goal is to build the best product available at any price. We build a boot the way we know the boot needs to be built. This year's Stewart boot is just as good as the Stewart boot that you got 10 or 20 years ago. You can't say that about too many products nowadays, can you? But we always tell people with your Stewart boot, if you wear it so long and so hard that you rat the feet out so completely that you're ashamed to wear them, you can send them back to us and we can replace the feet. As long as you take care of the liner on the inside of the boot the way we instruct you to do in our little care sheet, the boot will last and last and last. Now here's a little something that we like to recommend for our boots. This is a thin neoprene or Vibram material that gets glued over the top of the leather. It keeps the leather sole from ever wearing out. When you do wear out this neoprene, which takes a long time to wear out, you don't have to tear the whole boot apart to replace the bottom assembly. You just heat it up, peel it off, and stick it back on, and any repair shop in the country can do that. Not only is it inexpensive and easy to do, but you don't run the risk of having the fit changed on you the way it sometimes happens when our boots get resold in other places besides the factory.